Listen, let me tell you a little bit about this gentleman. I've introduced him before, and again, it's an honor and a privilege to have an opportunity to do it again. Now, he spent his life helping people, and I'm convinced that's why he's been so successful and continues to be so successful. He's built teams of tens of thousands of people across this country. I had the pleasure of witnessing this with my own eyes. Now, he brings 2 decades of success to the financial service industry. The principles that we are working off of right now have been tried, tested, and true. This guy's a master of motivation. He's a true do-it-first leader. He builds big. The system, the track that you're having your success on right now, he helped create. The system is proven, predictable, and profitable. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, help me bring to the call MWR Financial President of Leadership and Field Development, Mr. Adamo Tolson. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am, Gerald. Can you hear me well?
Crystal clear.
Fantastic. Gerald, thank you so much for the kind words. I'd have to just say Gerald Parker is a leader's leader. Do you know that I never once have to call him and ask him to do intros? He's committed to that. He does it like clockwork. I don't have to wonder if he's going to be there on time, if he's going to get everything together. So I appreciate his leadership. I love the way he leads his team. He's passionate about everything we do. In fact, what you see here tonight, these 6 steps, he's taken advantage of, and he's followed this action plan, and he's had tremendous success. First, just being a product of the product, if you will, and then ultimately seeing how that's evolved and what that's done for him has given him not only the passion, but the moral authority to speak it into other people's lives because he has done it and lived it. So I'm super impressed, proud of, and just love what he does and the way he leads, and that's none other than Mr. Gerald Parker. So thank you, my friend, for always being here and being the leader you are. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, even though you see what looks like for some of you, we've done these trainings, these fast start steps to success, it may look the same, but it is going to be different. You will see something you've never seen in network marketing training ever. And this is part of the appeal, part of why our business is so powerful, part of why we're exploding all across the nation right now, because people want something that's real. They want something that they can sink their teeth into. They want something where it can give them true meaning and purpose, and they can truly deliver on everything they say. So many times we do things, we get involved with things, and we have the right spirit, we have the right ideas, and we come with the right heart and work ethic, but we get let down. Tonight, you are going to see why we are as powerful and impactful as we are, and I'm telling you what you're going to want to do, because we're going to go through these 6 steps, but then we're going to show you, and we're going to show you how we truly make wealth real. You will see it very clearly, and it's something that no other network marketing company in our industry has ever shown before, can show, does show, because they don't have it. This is what we do, and when you see that, you are going to be so excited that you're in this business, that you're on this line, and if you're not in this business, I'm telling you, you're going to jump in right away, because you're going to say, I need to do that for myself. See, that's what I love about what we do. We're so impactful to us first. We all know what station you're turned into, that WIFM, what's in it for me. So you'll see how it can just be impactful for you, and then that'll give you the heart, the desire, the passion, just like it touched Gerald in a way that he couldn't help but share it, because it's too powerful. He's going to share with people he cares about, with people he knows, and people he comes across, because he knows how powerful it is. So I will tell you, if you feel like you don't have some of your teammates on this call, you need to text them right now and say, they got an emergency, get on the call right now, get on this, send out the webinar stuff right now, because as we go through this, and when you see what you see, you will literally say, I've never seen that before in network marketing history, and oh my goodness, I cannot believe what I have a hold of. That's what's going to happen. Even to some of you that have been in the business for a couple of weeks, you're going to go, what? I didn't know. So with that being said, I'm just going to go on and kick this off and get started here. This is our Fast Start Steps to Success. We have 6 steps. Step 1, we're going to go over following action plan. We're going to go over how to make a list in step 2. Step 3, we're going to talk about inviting using what we call the phrase that pays. Step 4, we're going to show show you how we prove it first. And then step 5, we present it. Step 6, how we follow up and help get prospects started. So with that being said, let's go on and move to the next slide, and you'll understand how we repeat and teach this system, which will save you yourself time, energy, and money. Let's talk about step 1 and following our action plan. You become a consultant, then you get involved with our Money Max division, then our Credit Max division, our Equity Max division, our Wealth Max division, and you want to share that with others. And here's how you develop your story. Here's why you're even able to have a story to develop. Our Money Max, it's our instant pay raise tax reduction strategies. All you simply do, because we have experts in every division that does all the work for us, you schedule a consultation, they do a W-4 adjustment, you activate the tax bot and the expense tracking that tracks the expenses, and then they'll review your last 3 years' tax returns. The CPAs, the financial planners, the enrolled agents, the experts do that work for you because they believe, and I love working with people who believe it's how much you keep that counts, because that's really the case. Then when you go from there with our Credit Max, and here's what I love about our business. If you have credit issues, if you have debt issues, if your wealth plan isn't what you want it to be, you're not sitting across a table from me, from the person that brought you in and trying to tell your whole life story and all the issues you've had. A lot of times you haven't told that to your siblings, sometimes not even your spouse. So you don't want to do that with somebody who's just a truck driver by day and does this part-time. No, you're going to be able to go to your own back office, and if there's a credit challenge, or if you simply want to see your credit scores improve 50 to 150 points, then you can go use our Credit Max, our credit restoration strategies, where the experts will have you complete an enrollment. You'll order and upload your credit reports. The experts will do all the work for you, and you'll even be able to utilize the Credit Rebuilding Center, because we understand that higher scores equals bigger savings. Then Equity Max. Again, you'll go right here to your back office. This is our debt elimination strategies. You click on Get Started. You enter all your debts. You review the analysis, and then you follow the monthly statements. It's your guide to a debt-free lifestyle. Then we're going to go here, and we have a little background noise, so let's make sure we have everything muted out. But here with Wealth Max, we want to do our wealth generation strategies, and this is where I'm going to really focus in on tonight so you understand, because you see these things. Schedule a consultation, analyze your existing wealth plans, develop the right wealth plan, become your own bank, retire on your terms. So those are great maybe buzzwords, but you don't really understand how that happens. We're going to show you how that happens here tonight. So I want you, just because this first part's going to seem like, oh, I've seen this before, you better stay locked into this call, because in the middle and the end, you are going to lose your mind. It's going to be so powerful. So we understand the power of taking these first steps, and so we actually guarantee. So this is our guarantee. If you follow our plan of action, which we just went over, and our strategies are not able to save you or make you more money in your first 30 days, not years down the road, your first 30 days, MWR Financial will give you a full refund. Now, let's talk about that. This is our back office, and right now I'm telling you we're always evolving. It's always going to look, it looks like this, and it could get even better. I'm going to tell you. So let's pull it up a little bit closer and see what happens. I'm going to show you how simple it is to get involved with our services, how simple it is to have everything start for you. You simply click on Schedule a Consultation to get your instant pay raise. That's all you do. You click on that and schedule a consultation. That's it. You want to use the Credit Max environment for the credit restoration strategies, and click on Enroll Now. Debt elimination, get started now. Wealth generation, schedule consultation. It is that simple. You simply click, and the experts then go to work for you to help you achieve your desired results. Now, let's talk about step 2, which in step 2 we make our list. See, we use a first-round draft choice. We don't do this haphazardly. We have a strategic plan. We have a target market that identifies 150 million W-2 employees out there without a business. So that's our target market. That's not our only market. Of course, we talk to entrepreneurs. We talk to business owners. We talk to networkers. And although you absolutely want to do all of that, but our target market, that's that identifiable market. Because if you know a networker, you know a business owner, you know an entrepreneur, they all know W-2 employees. So here's what we do. We identify our 5-star prospects first. So that's the way we do that is in star number 1, they're a W-2 employee without a business. Star number 2, they have a vehicle. Star number 3, they have a cell phone. Star number 4, they take vacations or trips. Star number 5, they have 1 or more children between the ages of 7 and 17. Then once we do that, and I'm telling you right now, that you can build hundreds of people like that, but we build it to 100 immediately through phone contacts. We use our social media contacts like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram because we know that we want to add to that daily, and we understand that your list is the lifeblood of your business. So when we do that, we take step 3, and we're starting to invite. So we have the MWR phrase that pays. Why does it pay? Because it works every time. All you simply do, if I was talking to Gerald, I would say, Gerald, if I could show you how to qualify for an instant pay raise starting with your very next paycheck, would you want to know more? Simple as that. See, we understand that professional sort where amateurs try to convince. Then when you use that phrase that pays, here's what we're going to do. We're going to call 25 5-star first-round draft choices first. We're going to send 75 text messages, social media messages, which the social media messages are private messages only. We don't post. We understand with the algorithms that Facebook uses and nobody will ever see your stuff. We send a private message, and we put their name on that message. We'll show you that in a moment. And then you want to use different contacts for each category above, and you want to do this really in your first 24 to 48 hours, because when you do that, that's how you launch your business. See, that's launching your business. Now you're really in the business and you're gaining speed. Then step 4, you're not going to like this. You're going to love this. We prove it first. See, when your prospects ask for more information from the phrase that pays, you want to do one of the following. If you're in person, you just simply want to take them to myinstantpayraise.com site. You want to, via your phone, your tablet, your computer, and you help them complete the Instant Pay Raise Estimator to see if they qualify. That's the most effective way to build your business. You can also, if they reply to you via text, email, or social media message, you send the following. I thought you might. Just letting them know you're being positive and confident. You said, did they want to know more? They said yes. You said, I thought you might. Laugh out loud. Go to myinstantpayraise.com, answer the 7 questions, and text, email, or message me your monthly total to see if you qualify. You're going to love this. Smiley face. That's what we do. And we're systematic about it. And this is very, very simple because we understand and we recognize, and I want you to know that when you put the pressure on the system, it allows the system to build your business. That's what we do is we put the pressure on the system and let the system build our business. Step 5, we simply present it. So here's how we present it, where it's perfect every time. Now that you know how much your instant pay raise your prospects can qualify for, you can share our one-page presentation with them, or you can follow basically use the capture site to do it for you. Here's what I mean. We have a one-pager. We'll show you that later. But here's when you take them to our site, our MakeWealthReal.com. You simply say, Gerald, congrats. You qualify for an instant pay raise. Now go to MakeWealthReal.com/whatever your site ID is, and then watch the video, and I'll call you in 15 minutes. We know the video only takes 11 minutes. Here's what's going to happen. Using this site, we'll track all of your prospects via your MWR Financial Business Center, and you'll be notified when they have viewed or accessed the presentation immediately via both text and or email. See, this is putting pressure on the system, letting the system build your business because you will have a perfect presentation 100% of the time. powerful. It goes through everything. Now, step 6, which is the most important step, is the follow-up, and you want to help them get started. So in the follow-up, you call them 15 minutes after the time of your MWR alert, email, and text message. You be excited, and you assume they're ready to get started by saying the following: Gerald, now that you know what I'm so excited about, what did you like best about what you saw and heard? See, agree with them, whatever they like, and then, so if, oh, I like that you can, people can get an instant pay raise. That was so cool. Hey, that's one of the things that attracted me most about this, and then walk them through the steps to get enrolled. If they have questions, answer them, or three-way them with your sponsor or success line leader to help you. But we all know the fortune is in the follow-up. Now, I want to teach and repeat this. See, we recognize that if you simplify to multiply, that's how you get things done. So you have everything you need to get your business off to a fast start. All you have to do now is follow the system, teach others to do the same, and repeat the process. It is really that easy. So here's what we do. We stay plugged in by utilizing the tools. So we have the Monday night leadership training calls. We have Thursday night system and service training calls. You're going to experience the very first one we're doing tonight. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MWR Financial. You can link and follow us on Facebook and Twitter, at facebook.com MWR Financial and twitter.com/MWR Financial. So you can do all of that. Now, the phrase that pays, you see that's there. We have the Instant Pay Raise, myinstantpayraise.com site. We have our one-pager, our Instant Pay Raise one-pager, which shows our mission, takes us through the system, the first part of the system, just to get you where you have your services done so you can develop your own personal story. And then the second part of our mission, which we go over, it tells you the phrase that pays, my Instant Pay Raise, and go into makewealthreal.com. It's real simple. Then at the bottom, it shows you the money you can make in one of our 10 income streams, because with our company, again, unlike what you see, we have guaranteed income. See, at our company, we have a guaranteed income. Not only can you get started with us, but you can position yourself to receive guaranteed income, and we show you that at the bottom of that one-pager. So these are the tools you absolutely want to stay plugged in with. Now, what would happen? I want you to think about this. If you help just 3 people get an instant pay raise and you taught them to do the same. Let's talk about some of that guaranteed income. Here's what would happen. If you help 3, you would be at a $5 per day guarantee. In fact, the computer would check and see what your guarantee is. It would say you're at $5. It would text you every morning to let you know that you have $5 guaranteed today. So over the month, that's $150 a month. If that's, first of all, your instant pay raise typically is going to be more than, it covers the cost of being in the business and staying in the business, because it's more than what the average instant pay raise is, $300 to $600 a month. But imagine then all of a sudden you're making a profit with just 3 people that you help get an instant pay raise. Then if those 3 help their 3, now you're talking about a total of 12 people, or you have any combination of 12 people in your organization. Do you realize you're at a daily guarantee of $20 a day, which is $600 a month? Over the course of the year, that's $7,200. Of guaranteed money. See, you have a guarantee. I can't say enough how powerful guaranteed income is when you're in business. See, a lot of people, they go after things, they do things, but they work hard every day, but they don't have a guarantee. You have guaranteed income here. I love it. Now, when you go out and help those 3, if you do that another 5 times, do you realize you would have taken your business to where they would have more than 3,200 qualified financial consultants in your business, which is just like our rep. That's what we do. Because some people, we don't consult like that. We just consult you to say, hey, you need to see what we're doing over here. But that's $30,000 a month for you just in this one income stream. In reality, you're going to be making a 7-figure income. You have an organization of that size. But in one income stream, guaranteed income, $30,000 a month for you. Now, that's powerful. So you do have everything you need to succeed here. Let me tell you why. You have leverage, which is my favorite word in the English language. The ability to get paid on multiple people's efforts instead of just your own. That's MWR Financial's business. You have a residual income. See, that's the ability to get paid month after month for products and services sold one time by you or others. That's our MWR Financial Edge strategies and our MWR Financial business. Then you have the passive income, which is your money makes money for you through savings and investments that can earn compound interest. That's our MWR Financial Private Reserve Account. I'm going to talk to you about that and what that really means, but that's what that is there. So let's talk about that right now. There are 4 ways to earn income. We've all heard it. We know about Robert Kiyosaki's Cash Flow Quadrant. That book was just, it was mind-blowing for me. But here's what happens, and I want to take you through what you can absolutely do for someone here, for yourself and others, with MWR Financial. Now remember, our target market is those 150 million employees. Well, they start off as employees. We can take someone from employee who has a job, they have absolutely no leverage, okay, and they only share 5% of the wealth. They trade time for money. Okay, so now here's what happens. We can take them and move them into a self-employed status. And then we have people that are entrepreneurs, they're networkers, things like that work with us. They're already self-employed, or they're just so they're already self-employed. So they own a job, but they really don't have leverage. And this is where 95% of the population is either employed or self-employed. That's where it is. But you're still trading time for money. So we then can take you. Watch this. If you became an employee, joined our business, now became self-employed, now you want to be a business owner. And I call it big business because a big business means you have 500 employees or more. And as you start to now, you run our system because you own a system, and now you have leverage with the leverage of others because your income is not dependent upon your active work. It's working with everybody. So now you're leveraging people and running a system to help you make money. See, and that's what we can do for you. And a lot of companies talk about, oh yeah, we can do that. And then they go, well, if you made enough money and you did all this, then yeah, you can figure it out, but you can become an investor. We're here, yes, investor, this area right here. Like the last frontier, we make this real because we don't leave it to chance. We don't leave it to, well, maybe you'll figure it out and you made so much money with us, you can now figure it out. We can take someone today, and this is what's going to blow your mind. Where you're sitting today, you just didn't know what you didn't know. Just like you didn't know you could have your take-home pay increased. We're going to take people today, they're going to be able to start this process of being in the I category, and where you own investments and you're leveraging your money to make money because your money works for you and you're not dependent upon your active work. So this is what I'm so super excited about. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the 4 cornerstones of a strong financial foundation. What you want is you want growth. You want your money to grow. That's obvious. But you also want safety, which generally works opposite of growth. But you do. If ideally you want safety, you don't want to just go out there and put your money at risk. Then you want to have tax advantages. You want to be able to access your money free. You want that free access, and then ultimately you want protection. If something happens, you want to know that your money's protected, and it's all there. So those are the 4 cornerstones of wealth. That's what you want to achieve. This is what wealthy people all look at when they make investments, when they determine what's good for them. So let's talk about the demographics of life. Now, you hear right here Sir Richard Branson, who says, hey, you got to retire like a rock star. Well, we're in the greatest retirement crisis in the history of the world. In coming decades, millions will retire into poverty. Too frail to work or too poor to retire is the new normal. Now, why did this happen? Well, see, back in the 80s, there were 60% of people had pensions. And pensions, or just so because some of you are young enough or too young to even know that even existed, you'd have to go to the Washington, D.C., to the Smithsonian to see what a pension used to be. See, a pension used to be if you worked for a company and you helped make that owner rich, then after 20, 30, 40 years, they would then pay you a pension, which means they'll pay you a certain amount of money till you passed on. And then what they did was, really good companies, if you were married for 5 years or more prior to you retiring, retiring, if you passed first, they would pay your wife until she passed a certain amount of money. So your retirement was a given. You knew you were going to get a certain amount of money. But what happened was the corporate America started realizing people were living longer. They're going to have to pay these pensions out. Before they were like, man, people retire at 65. Maybe a lot of them don't make it, but maybe they live to 70 and 72, then it's done. Now they're in their 80s, late 80s and early 90s now. It's starting to go, whoa. So they were seeing this trend happening. They saw the baby boomers, which have affected every industry they came in, and said, oh, my God, there's going to be 78 million people retiring every 5 seconds in some years from now. So they go to the government. They said, we need something. And the government said, you know what? We got it. We have this tax code that we use for high-paying individuals, employees. We're going to let you use this 401k. But this 401k, because everybody's used to pensions, they're all going to want pensions, you're going to have to incentivize people to use the 401k. But we want that because what we'll do is we won't take taxes from them up front, but boy, we're going to take it on the harvest. We won't tax them on the seed. We're going to tax them on the harvest. So what we're going to do is, that will work for us because it allows us to get more tax money, and it'll work for you because you now don't have to worry about a pension. You can put them on this. So what you may have to do is you may have to give them dollar for dollar. If they put $1 in, you put $1 in to help incentivize them to do it because that will make the transition happen much faster. Now, when all this was happening and approved during the Reagan years, let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you the truth about money. Here's the ugly truth. And we know our target market are W-2 employees. They need to hear this. The ugly truth is that the 401k is a lousy product and a financial flop. That was in Time magazine. Said it was time to retire the 401k. Here's retirement dreams disappear with 401ks. Trillions of dollars have evaporated from those accounts. A retirement system that has jeopardized the financial security of tens of millions of people. That was done by CBS News 60 Minutes. See, this is real stuff. Is the 401k a total scam? This also remains one of the most egregious scams in modern finance, leaving 401k management fees as the last great ripoff in retirement savings. That was done by Forbes.com. Then the retirement gamble. The 401k system has been a failed experiment for the middle-class Americans because it was never designed with them in mind. The whole system needs to be reformed. That's PBS.org's Frontline. Now, I want you to understand something. The 401k the reason why it's called 401k is simply a tax code. It was never meant for you and I, hardworking, middle-class Americans going out there trying to make it happen. It was never meant to be a retirement vehicle, but they sold us a bill of goods. Let me tell you the three major reasons why it's a challenge. Number one is stock market risk. They have taken your retirement for where you go. We're going to get a guaranteed income for the rest of your life through a pension. Now it's based on the stock market, what it's doing. Number two, there's hidden and excessive costs that could be as high as 30% in fees. People don't even realize that's happening. And then number three, the tax risk. In the future, do you think taxes will be the same? Do you think they'll be lower? Or do you think they'll be higher? It's always higher. We know that. So here's the retirement gamble, the old way of thinking. First, use pre-tax dollars to invest in a company-sponsored 401k. Then contribute as much as possible and receive a limited match from your employer. All this so you can fund your retirement and pay taxes later. See, now, Rick Butler, here he wrote The Great Wall Street Retirement Scam. He says, what they did not want you to know about IRAs, 401ks, and other plans. So here's what happens. This is a post-pension era mindset that has been burned into the American psyche. My question, though, is it possible that this is exactly what we should not be doing? See, let's talk about the new rules of retirement. See, the rules have changed now. See, right here, and this is Patrick Kelly in this book called Tax-Free Retirement. He says save using after-tax dollars and pay taxes on the seed, not the harvest. Stay away from your company's 401k if they don't provide a matching contribution. and never send extra money to a 401k above what your company will match. That's what it's telling you. Overfunding a 401k is like playing Russian roulette with your retirement. See, your goal is to grow your money with zero risk, access your retirement dollars tax-free, and create an income tax-free and inheritance for your heirs. That's what it's done. So let's talk about the investment options you have. Mutual funds, stocks, savings and CDs, bonds and treasuries. You get taxed right now. On whatever the growth is, you get taxed. Now, tax later, this is why 401ks, we kind of got caught up with that. 403bs for all you teachers out there, IRAs, the IRAs, the annuities, for both fixed and variable, savings bonds, you get taxed later. Tax never are the Roth IRAs, but they have an annual limit, private reserve account, and tax-free retirement vehicles. Which one would you choose? I know I would choose, I don't want to tax never. So let's talk about this. Here's the old approach, and I'm going to talk versus the new approach in minimizing taxation. Here's the example. The example below, what you're going to see is two 35-year-olds contributing $400 a month for 30 years at 7.5%. One of them buys a term insurance with no living benefits and a 401k, and the other with $100 a month, employer match and 1% management fees, where the other buys a private reserve account with living benefits. So they're both have the same sort of thing, spending the same money, doing the same thing, trying to achieve the same thing, the old approach. Over that 30 years, he would have put in a total of $409,000, just a dollar short of $410,000 into his 401k. He wants to have an income, a net income of $52,253 a year. So he has to pull out $69,671 a year for his income because he has to pay taxes at a rate of 25%. So that's $17,418 in taxes before he ever gets that $52,000. So we all understand that. The new approach, take that same money, your private reserve account has actually grown to $427,000, almost $428,000. Your income that you're looking for is $52,253. So you're taking that out. You don't pay any taxes because you already paid them when you never had to have them withheld like that. You've already paid them. So then your net income is $52,253. Now let's see what happens. In 13 years, at the age of 78, the old approach runs out of money. The total income that they would have received over that time for the 30 years plus the additional 13 was $591,000 and some change. But if client D, or the new approach, if that client at the age dies at the age of 100, let's say they lived a long life because they were not stressed about money, he or she would receive $52,253 for 35 years. That's $1.8 million, and the family is still left with $654,000, almost $655,000, all tax-free. Do you know the new approach made a 7-figure difference for the same money? See, oh my goodness, I don't know if you're getting excited like I am, but let me help you understand something here. We all remember the crash of 2008. We know what that was. The average loss was 38.49%. Why? Because of market risk. Everything was at risk. Let's talk about the effects of risk on your retirement accounts. If you start off with $100,000 and you lost 10%, you'd be left with $90,000. Now, if you ask the average person, well, what would it take to get back to $100,000? They'll tell you 10%. But in reality, because you're only getting the interest off the 90, you have to have an 11.1% gain just to get back to even. So you have to gain more than what you lost. But now let's go look at what happened in 2008, where there was almost a 40% loss. So if you're accountant, this is not some little in a bottle where experiment. This is in theory. This happened to people. You had $100,000, say in your 401k, and lost 40%. It would drop down to $60,000. Just to get back to even, not make money, just to get back what you lost, you have to have a 66.7% return. This is crazy. And when you start looking around going, well, I can't even get a 1% return at the bank, and then other things are 3%, 5%. Where in the world am I going to get a 66.7% return? See, what I want you to know is what the wealthy know that most people don't. According to the Federal Reserve, the richest 10% of Americans own over half of the tax-free investment gains. Look at that. Richest 10%, but families in the bottom half of the net worth percentiles own just 6.5% of these tax-free assets. Do you think wealthy people are doing something different than we are? You better believe they are. Now, so there's no wonder why 59% of the people, when they reach the age of 65, are dead broke. 36% are dead. You got 4% that are financially secure, which means they make $50,000 a year or more, and 1% is wealthy. That's why this happens. Now, let's talk about, I've talked to you about what the problem is, what the issues are. Let's talk about some solutions. Let's talk about the private reserve account. This is what you get exposed to in Wealth Max when you set up your wealth plan consultation. That's why you want to schedule a consultation. So the question I have for you is, what is the life you would design? Well, let's look at it. We have our private reserve account now. We have a video. For those of you that haven't seen it, you can go to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MWR Financial, and you can go look at this. It's a 2-minute video that will give you an overview of what I'm going to share with you. It's powerful. Everybody that's seen it, they love it. It's a very effective way for us to help people understand what we do and how we help them in the I category of the cash flow quadrants. Now, let's talk about this private reserve account. Your bank, this when you have money in the bank, we put money in the bank, it gives you low returns on your money. They lend your money to others called arbitrage because they lend it to you at 7, 8, 9, 10, 15%, but they're only giving you 1% on the money you have in the bank. That's arbitrage. You must qualify to borrow your money. You have to pay interest to borrow money, and then the bank sets the loan terms, and the dollar serves one purpose. Banks use your money to make money for the bank. But in a private reserve account, let me show you what happens. It's market-linked returns on your money, so you have market-linked returns. There's no loss provisions, so you're not going to lose money. I'm going to show you how that happens. No qualifying to borrow money. You earn interest on your borrowed money. That's arbitrage, just like the banks get. You set the loan terms, you have tax-free withdrawals, and the dollar serves multiple purposes. You use your money to make money for you. Now, let's talk about the retirement miracle. There's 5 great reasons to start. And you know how we love acronyms here at MWR Financial. START is really an acronym. I'm going to explain it to you in a moment. Saving a new way with our PRA, our private reserve account. Now, Patrick Kelly wrote a book called The Retirement Miracle, and it's powerful. So he says, listen to this. The number one reason is for safety. See, a PRA, a private reserve account contract, guarantees you will never lose money due to market declines. Imagine having that guarantee. The number 2 reason why you want to start saving with a PRA is it's tax-free. See, the money inside your private reserve account will grow tax-free and can be withdrawn tax-free. The number 3 reason, it has accelerated living benefits. A private reserve account contract allows you to access your money when you need it with no penalties. The number 4 reason is you have rate of return. Indexing inside of a private reserve account has historically produced higher returns than most 401ks. And I'll explain what that is in a moment. And then number 5, this is my favorite, you have triple compound interest. Interest on principal, interest on interest, and interest on the money you saved in taxes. Unbelievable. This is incredible. See, the rules of money have changed, and nowhere is that more true than with your retirement. So let's talk about the Safe Money Index strategy, which allows clients to participate in the upside of the market, but it limits the downside risk. So let's say you start off with $100,000, just makes my math easy, and let's say there is a market upturn of 8%. So your annual crediting would be 8%, and you would actually, now your money has gone to $108,000, the value of your account. You were like fired up. Okay, but if there's a market downturn, now you lose 8%. But here's what happens: most people think, "Oh, I'm back at 100,000." No, you're not. because you're losing 8% of 108,000. So now you've lost hard money. You're down to $99,360. But here's what I want to tell you. In a safe money index strategy, here's what would happen. During that downturn, you would flatline, if you will. Now, flatline sounds bad, but in this place, zero becomes your hero because they guarantee you won't lose any money. So that's why zero becomes your hero. They would credit you with a 0% gain, which is nothing, so it means your money stayed protected. While everybody else had to suffer that loss, you still have not only your original 100,000 that you started with, but you have the 8,000 that you gained in interest. It's still there. And then if the market now goes up 5%, you get to go up 5%. You don't have to wait for everybody to catch up with you. You get to go up 5% of where you are. So now the value of your account is now $113,400, where everybody else trying to recover is now at $104,328. Do you realize the people that are just out there in the market in those 401ks, seeing them go up and down, they would need a 14.12% return to catch up with you. And all you did was do what the wealthy do. You took a strategy where you don't lose money. I don't like this. I love it. Now, and by the way, there's a $9,000 difference between the two at just these early years. But let me show you what happens over time. In 1998 through 2015, if you were in the stock market, like the 401ks are, you'd have gone up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and you'd be at about $183,000. Well, using our safe money index here, what happens is with the PRA, see how you went up? The green is the PRA, but notice that when the down markets, you didn't go down. You kind of stayed about the same, and then you go up again, and when the market goes down, you stayed there, and then it starts to go up, and you go up. You'd be at $214,000, almost $215,000. That's an extra 17 plus 15. That's extra $32,000. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to give $32,000 away to somebody. So that is powerful, and that blue line is just like a minimum guarantee. They still guarantee that if the market's down every single year, you're still going to get a return. So that is a powerful, powerful concept. You have an account that goes up but never goes down. So how do you win the money game? Now that you know better and you have an understanding and you get a better value of your money, so you understand that a little bit better. Reading is fundamental on Damo. Let's see how the impact of your saving happens over time. I'm going to call this, and I'm not going to call this. This is called the Rule of 72. So this helped me the first time I heard this. Man, it helped me for the rest of my life. Here's how the Rule of 72 works. If you want to know how fast your money will double, you simply divide the number 72 by your expected rate of return to determine the number of years it will take your money to double. So let me just show it to you where you can see it clearly. If you were 29 years of age and you had a 4% return and you put up $10,000 in the account and you never put another dime in, you just let the interest grow, your money's going to double every 18 years because 72 divided by 18 is 4, or 72 divided by 4 is 18. So it's going to take 18 years to grow. So by the time you're 65, your 10,000 would have become 40,000. Now, if you got a 6%, here's what happens. I'm going to do this. If I ask the average person, well, what if you got an 8% return? The average person is going to tell me it'll grow to 80,000 because it's just double, which I get. So let me show you what happens with 80,000. 29 years old, your money actually grows to 160,000. Why? Because money at 8% doubles every 9 years. So instead of only getting 2 doubles, you actually get 4. So you're at 160,000. Notice where the big money comes into that last double. Then if you actually got a 12% return, oh my goodness. Now you're talking about, you're 29 years old. That same $10,000 could become $640,000 because you didn't just get 4, you received 6 doubles because the money was doubling every 6 years. That's what's crazy about the Rule of 72. In fact, here what I want to show you is Albert Einstein said the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest. The person that understands compound interest will earn it. The person that does not will pay it. Now, I know I'm showing people with 25,000, 100,000. I'm doing all these kinds of things, but I want to tell you this. I want to share this with you. Oh, by the way, guess who understands compound interest? Credit card companies. See, when they're charging you 10% return, they know that if you just keep making that minimum payment, which doesn't even really touch the principal, that your money your debt is going to double in 7 years. And that's why people can't ever seem to get out of debt. They don't realize they have $4,000, $5,000 on a card, and I'm paying the minimum payment. It's going to take me 43 years to pay it off because of the power of compound interest. It works both ways. Remember, if you don't understand it, you will pay it. But listen to this. I'm going to tell you where we said, remember earlier when I said we're meeting everybody right where they are? And some of you are sitting on the phone right now and can do this because you might say, well, Ndamo, I don't have $25,000 right now and $100,000, all that. So, okay, maybe one day I'll be able to get there. Watch this. You could benefit from compounding interest by setting aside a small amount of money each month. For example, $255 compounding at 9% each month for 38 years, there's your $1 million. No, that's yours. There's your $1 million. Now, I didn't say you went and recruited the planet. I didn't say you did anything other than put a little bit of money away and let the magic of compound interest work for you and not have to go through any losses doing it. See, this is how we make wealth real, ladies and gentlemen. This is the power of what we do. This is why our CEO and founder is passionate. Let me talk to you about how to win the money game. I want you to meet Antonio. He had $25,000 in savings at the age of 30. He decided to stop contributing to his 401k and instead, because he found out what it was, and instead hit $500 to his new private reserve account because at his company they weren't even matching. So he started putting his $500 that he was putting away every month, he just put it in his private reserve account. Here's what happened. At the age of 45, he elects to receive $20,000 a year tax-free for 4 years to send his daughter to college. At 65, he stops making contributions at all, period, stops. And what he does is he creates his own pension by electing to receive tax-free income of the rest of his LIFE. Now, when he did that, or you count the money you go, man, from 30 years old to 65, he's paying 20, and he's putting in $500 a month. Well, over that period of time, he would have put in $240,000 into the account, but the total cash he received, because he was getting $50,000 a year till from 65. Let's say he lived a long time because he wasn't stressed about money. He's 100 years old, so he now, when he dies at 100, he still has $1.5 million that he can leave his family, even though he took out 1.8 over all those years. This is the power of what we do. Now, which do you think is the right course of action, the old way or the new way? I know we're all saying new way in unison, but let me show you something else that will blow your mind, because I want to let you know what wealthy people do and why we do things differently and why they are always seem to get further and further ahead. Watch this, buying a car. Now, this is an auto loan alternative. And I want you to think about the years from 2000 to 2004. The stock market was having some bad years. There may be a good year in there, but it was like three bad of the 4 years. So let's say you bought a car, $25,000 auto loan. You finance the car for 60 months. You're paying $471 a month. The interest you're going to pay for those 60 months is $3,260. So the total cost of the car is $28,260. That's what it is. But see, what you do is with your MWR, or with your private reserve account, you literally take the money to buy the car with your private reserve account. You wind up buying it cash, but here's what you're going to do. You're going to pay yourself back at the same rate, $471 per month. But guess what? Because the way you're structured, you actually pay your money yourself back after 58 months. So you have $942 saved. Plus, because you're linked to the S&P 500, you earned another $3,101 in interest. Notice the other side, you paid interest, but here you earned interest. So when you take the $3,100 plus the $900 you saved, your total difference is about $4,000. You subtract that $4,000 from the $25,000 you paid for the car, you actually bought the car for about $21,000, as opposed to $28,000 when it's all said and done when you financed it. Same car, same money. But you're you're $8,000 ahead. And that $8,000 is real money that was taken away from you because you just didn't understand it. But that's in a down market. Let's talk about a great market from 2010 to 2014. The same exact situation, buying the car the same way, but now you do it through your private reserve account, buy the car cash through your private reserve account, but it's not cash like you think, because you're not going to just cash and then I just let that cash go away. No, you want it to keep working for you. So you start paying yourself back that $471. You're putting it back into your private reserve account. In 58 months you've done it. You've paid it all back, so you save $942 because it's linked to the S&P 500 in the up market. Now you collect it. You gain over $15,000 in interest. So when you add the $15,000 plus the $942, you're a little over $16,000. The difference. You subtract that from the $25,000 for the car. That car really only cost you a net of $9,000. But on the other side, if you buy it the way we've all been buying the cars for years because we didn't know, then it costs us $28,000. Now, I don't know about you, $9,000 versus $28,000. That's $19,000 that gets to stay on my side of the house and continue to grow? Oh, no, I'm definitely doing that. And I want you to understand, our CEO and founder, Mr. Brian House, he didn't know this at one time until he was successful in business and started making so much money that he got exposed to things that he never knew before. And then meeting people and befriending people and becoming friends with people who had serious money that have been practicing these sort of examples for years. So he's like, well, wait a minute. Now, if we'd have known this, we'd have been much better ahead. And some of you started out where you were just putting a little money away. I could have put that kind of money away had someone told me about this, had I known about this. Well, that's why NWR Financial was created. That's why it's so important what we do. That's why it is imperative for you to get the word out, because people just don't know. But, boy, I'm telling you, when you impact them in this way, it is powerful. So remember the 4 cornerstones of wealth? Did we show you growth? Yes. Did we show you safety? Yes, because you don't lose any principal. Did we show you tax advantage? Yes. You had free access. And did we show you protection? Yes. But I'm going to show you something. See, there's a bunch of financial products out there that you can get involved in, and I like to do those side-by-side comparisons. You hear that all the time. So let's talk about the stock market and mutual funds. You can definitely get growth. Is there any safety? Absolutely not. Is there any tax advantage access? No. Do you have any protection in terms of death benefits or a pension plan? No. Period. Okay, let's go 401k, 403b, 457s, IRAs, and TSPs. I probably hit everybody who is employed. This is what they get to do. So we all think they told us this is the greatest thing to do. Do we have growth? Absolutely. Can we have safety if the market goes down? Are we safe? No. Do you have tax advantage access? No. Do you have a pension or death? No. So do you see why this has become bad? Because, see, before a pension was there, at least you got the pension. You know you were going to get a certain amount of money. Now, that safety net's not there anymore. So let's talk about the Roth IRA. We hear about that. Hey, you should put your money there. It's a good thing. Do you have growth? Yes. Do you have safety? No, because it's tied to the stock market like anything else. Are there tax advantage access? Yes. See, the IRA, that's a good thing. They have tax advantage access. But is there a death benefit or a pension kind of benefit set up? No. What about annuities? We hear about those. Fixed, variable, index. I'm going to go through them quickly. The answer is growth, no. Safety, yes. Tax advantage, no. Protection, death benefit, pension kind of thing, yes, because it's an annuity. A variable annuity, they have growth at least, but there's no safety, there's no tax advantage, but they could have a death or pension. It just depends on what happens with the variable part because you're in the market and unprotected. Index, you have growth, you have safety, but there's no tax advantage access, and you have a pension, a death benefit. So an annuity that's indexed is pretty good, but it's not everything. Then you have life insurance. You hear about that. Wealthy people, you understand the value and the power of life insurance. Let's talk about term life. Well, term life insurance is just term. You're just paying for a death benefit and hoping that you're going to die before, because the insurance company bets that you're going to live, you bet you're going to die first. So you have a death benefit, so you're good, that's it, but nothing else applies. What about whole life? Well, there's no growth. You do have safety, and you do have tax advantage access, and you do have a death benefit. What about a universal life? Well, there's no growth. there's safety of principal, there's tax advantage access, and there's a death benefit pension, but there's no growth, so you hardly make any money. A variable universal life, there's growth, there's no safety because you're variable. You're out in the market again, unprotected. Tax advantage access, you have that, and you could have a death benefit, but you might not because you could have lost all your money in the plan because it's variable. And then you have our private reserve account. Watch this. Again, this is just everything side by side. These are all the different ways you can invest your money. Look at this. You have growth, you have safety, you have tax advantage access, and you have a death benefit / pension. You have it all with a private reserve account. What other choice is there? This is why our CEO and founder, Mr. Brian House, said and thought and said, when I put this company together, I want to make wealth real. That's why our initials, MWR. But not make wealth real in some out there, well, kind of let's all get together, build huge teams, you make a lot of money, and then you'll be rich. Because that's not how it works. We know people that have made a lot of money, and then they wind up going, "What happened to it? What happened? They're broke. They go, wow, I had it, I made a lot, then it's all gone." Here, we want to make big money, but we're going to save and invest big money so you can leave a legacy for you and your family. This is why everybody in earshot should be hearing about MWR Financial. Think about this. Do I have to be a financial expert to do all of this? No, because the experts do the work. So I'm not sitting here pretending I'm a truck driver by day and I'm going to be trying to sit here and tell you all this stuff at night, and then and your friends go, man, he didn't even do good at math. I sat right next to him and saw him get D after D after D, and I'm supposed to listen to him? No. We have the experts in place. That's why Mr. Brian House, our CEO and founder, it was brilliant what he put together. MWR Financial is unlike any other network marketing company, period, because we can match and we can touch every box in those the 4 ways to produce income in that cash flow quadrant. And the box that nobody touches in network marketing is and we do it here. We make it real. So I believe that if the promise is clear, and oh, by the way, next week, let me just tell you something. We're going to do the same thing next week, but not the same, because we're not going to go over the PRA next week. But here's why you want to build your teams as big as you can and get everybody who didn't get on this call, you want them there next week, because we're going to show you how, we're going to talk to you about land banking and how to buy real estate without ever having to write a check. How about that? That's what Brian House, our CEO and founders, put together. That's what you have in MWR Financial. Most of you don't even know the power of what you have. And you're trying to keep this thing a secret? You can't keep it a secret. So that's why someone like Gerald Parker is going crazy. And everybody he hears, they go, man, he's always so super excited. Yes, because he understands what we have, and he's letting people know about it. And you know why he understands? Because he's lived it. See, he followed that action plan. He went out there and scheduled the consultation, got the pay raise, said, man, this is nice. Went out there and said, hey, I'm going to improve my credit scores, improved to my over 100 points, and saw where they saved money on that. So he had extra money. Then he had debt elimination. He says, you know what, I have debt, I want to eliminate it faster. He wound up seeing that he's going to eliminate about a third of the time. So he's like, oh, my goodness, this is incredible. And then when he heard about the private reserve, never knew it existed, didn't know it happened, said, wait a minute, from some of this money I saved in this and that, I could put some of that here, put that there, and you can hear from Gerald's own words. You guys have heard this, but I'm just going to tell it to you now, not make him get back on the call. But he talks about how where he was looking at probably taking about 25 years to retire, it's looking like about 5 to 10. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that when you do that to an employee? Their life has changed forever. They can't even sit still. So I'm telling you, it's right here. So I truly believe that if the promise is clear, then the price you pay to get there is easy. And at what I want to just tell you here at MWR Financial, we make the promise crystal clear. All you have to do is dream big, aim high, and you'll have a chance to live free. You could have the dream home, the dream car, the dream vacation, or just simply spend time with who you want, when you want, where you want, for however long you want. That's why, I'm telling you, I'm fired up. Well, I push that. Let me just tell you this. Here we are, MWR Financial. The time is now Take control of your future today. You should be literally hanging up this phone and going to schedule your wealth consultation, because it'll blow your mind how you'll be able to start that process right now, sooner than you ever thought. You don't have to have this whole huge sum of money to get started. Some of you will, and that's great. You got some advantages. But if you're like me, man, I'm going to get it started but that thing is going to happen consistently, and I'm going to let my money start working for me, because it'll outwork me and everybody else involved. That's who we are. So get back with your leadership. Make sure these wealth plans get started, because I'm telling you, it will blow your mind. You'll set yourself up to always be taken care of. You'll never worry about money. Just being disciplined and following the plan. So with that being said, I know we will see you at the top. I know we will see you on the beaches of the world, because being a part of MWR Financial and just sharing the message, we'll see you in both of those places, because our comp plan is ridiculous. I didn't even go over that today, but one income stream, I was showing you 30, we're going to create millionaires, multi-millionaires in this business. So we're going to see you there, but we're going to see you at the bank. But what I love is we're going to see you at your own bank. You're going to be your own bank, and where they won't just count our money, they'll weigh it. Have a great evening. I'm going to say goodbye for now. This was the greatest I've seen in years.
Great call.
Awesome job, man.
Great call, man.
Awesome.
Yes.
Great call.
This is Sylvia. Wow.
All right, make sure you set it. Make sure you set those things up. Get it done. I'm telling you, it's exciting. All right, everyone. Thanks so much.
Great stuff, man.
Thanks so much. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, my God. Oh.